Hello friends, welcome to yet another video. Deployments fail, performance drifts, SSL and DNS issues pop up at 3 a.m. ProOps gives you a lightweight programmable reliability layer, instant diagnostics, scheduled probes, alerts and easy integrations. We go beyond if your application is up. We validate status, content, SSL health, and latency. And we do it in a programmable way so you can automate guardrails. What we are going to show in this video is first we'll log in into ProBox and do a quick terminal run. Then we will schedule a probe with alerts and finally how this plugs into automation and pipeline. So let's go to ProBox website and I'll log in and show you this demo. So you just need to go to probops.com, and what we are going to do today is I have a side project by the name of authLink.com where you can test JWT tokens and you can simulate the real-time authentication flow. So what we will be doing today is we will monitor this as the application. We'll perform few checks from ProBox. So just go to probops.com and you can sign up and create a login for yourself, and it's free for most of the personal use unless you have a very heavy uses for API tokens. So let me just log in. So once I log in, it will land me into a dashboard. Now what we need to do is we'll go to Probe Central and we'll go to Terminal to run a probe. Now this terminal you can of course use as is within the browser, but you can also choose to pop it out. That's how I prefer to use it. And let me just clear everything. And we will do a curl command test here. So if you are not sure what syntax is supported, you can just type a question mark after curl, right? So let me quickly do a curl test. So first thing is I want to check what is the latency that is currently being delivered to my end users. And this task is being run from US East 1, where our primary probe node is. So let me just type the command here, curl -x, and then the type of request, which will be get in this case. And then I'll say HTTPS, and then authLink.com/API/help, and I'll hit enter, and it will give me all the output. So how much is the total time taken? What is the this is the total time taken by the HTTP request. That is around 23 millisecond time in the name lookup, and so on and so forth. So you will get comprehensive details here. And you can use it to benchmark the performance. Like you can actually schedule a periodic test or periodic probe from within ProBox, and it will keep on running and it will alert you in case it detects a deviation from the acceptable time that you have defined. And we are going to do that next. So before we do that, just a couple of more commands I want to show you. So second, we'll do a keyword check. So again, if you're not sure, you can just type a question mark after that. So let's do a keyword check for our homepage, that is authLink.com, and then I'll say the keyword that I'm looking for, and that is JWT. Okay, so you can see the status message that we got is 200 and keyword JWT is there. And it differentiates between small and capital letters. So if I just change this to small JWT, right, you will see that the keyword is not found, right? So the response is 200, but the keyword is not found. Next, let's do one more test here for API health. Like what is the status we are getting from a different APIs. Let me just clear this. And here I'll say API health, and then I will type the URL https://authLink.com/API/JWT/common, and then I'll say method get, and expected status is 200. And let me hit enter, right? So yes, it met our expected status, and we can read the response here, like what information we got on that particular API, right? So that's the idea. Uh, we can also pass JSON or headers if needed. And the third test that we are going to run is SSL hygiene. So let me just quickly clear it off. And SSL hygiene helps you understand the current status of the SSL certificate of your website, right? So here I have run this SSL hygiene for authLint.com, and you can see that currently the certificate is valid and it's slated to be expired in another 62 days. Now, again, you can schedule a check from within DevOps that if the certificate is getting expired in, let's say, within a month or within a week, then it can send you an alert. And this all can be scheduled right there from the DevOps console. So let's just go ahead and do the configuration. Let me just close it from here. And next I'll go to schedule probe. So that's the interface from where we'll be scheduling our probe. And from here I'll say create first probe, and I'll just give a name. I'll say API latency monitor, and here I'll define my auth API URL. I'll say authLink.com/API /help for now, and how frequently you want to run it. So free tier has minimum 15 minutes, which is okay for most use cases. But if you want 5 minutes time interval, then you can upgrade to professional or standard. But like I said, it's not required for most use cases. And I want it to be started immediately, and then I'll say next. And from here you can see all the tools that are available for us. For now, I want to use curl command, so that will be HTTPS request. So I'll just select HTTPS request and I'll click on next. And then what method we want to use, we of course want to use get for now. And you can also define custom HTTP headers if required. And advanced options talk about timeout, retry attempts, and you can also simulate user agents from here. For now, we will just schedule a check for now. And here you will be able to see multiple options, like what scenarios you want to receive the alert. So success and failure alerts are basic. Of course, we currently want to schedule a threshold based alert. You can also schedule a change detection where it can alert you on significant changes or based on a specific content or keyword matching. But for now, we'll go for threshold based alerts. And here you can see multiple options, right? So for now, we are interested in HTTP response time in milliseconds. And you can use an operator here, right? So you can also say that if the response is within 200 series, then it's okay. But any other response, it should trigger the alert. But for now, what we'll do is we'll schedule it only for the response time in milliseconds. And I actually want to trigger an alert for this demo, right? So what I'll do is I'll set this threshold value as 20 milliseconds so that we get an alert. And then there are predefined templates, or you can create your own template. So for now, I'll say threshold exceeded alert, and this is showing my email ID. So that alert will automatically go to my email ID, and you can also define some other settings. So here's the summary of what I have configured now, and then I'll hit on create probe. So the moment you will create probe, it will immediately run the first test. So that will take a few seconds to populate, and you can manually also execute the test either from the terminal or from within this page. So you can see this test is failed, and if you want to see the details, you can just hover your mouse on this failed, and then it will show you the details, right? It will show you the timestamp when the test was run and the entire details of the test. And why the threshold alert is triggered is HTTP response time was 32 millisecond, which is way beyond 20 millisecond, and that's why this particular alert is triggered. You can see the HTTP response time here as well. And we also maintain the entire history, so you will be able to access those details in analytics and reports and in the history section. Now we have scheduled an alert here, right? Which will actually trigger an alert to your email. But all these details can be referred to programmatically as well. So, which means that you can actually create a API token here. And from using these API tokens, you will be able to simulate the request from within a probe node from ProbeOps. So that actually creates a lot of interesting use cases that you may be interested into. Now I will go to my mailbox and I'll see if we have got the alert. And yes, we can see the alert here. And you can just open this alert to see the details. So the actual value that we received is 32.89 millisecond, which exceeded 20 ms, which we configured in the scheduled probe. Now it's a API first tool, so any automation tool can be integrated seamlessly with ProbeOps. In CI/CD, we can compare pre-deployment pre-deployment latency and post-deployment latency, or we can do a number of checks, including keyword check or SSL check. So we can automatically detect regression and then we can do a post deployment check and we can compare both and it can roll back automatically. I have already made a video on how you can do that and you can see the link on the top right side. I will also leave a link to this in the description. So that's ProbeOps, terminal diagnostics, scheduled reliability checks, alerts, and clean integrations. Grab a token, run your first probe, and make your stack a little more self-healing. If you face any kind of issues or if you have any query, you can post in the comment section or you can send a mail to support@probeops.com. So thanks a lot for joining us today and have a nice day ahead.